Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe with episode 10, season 3, episode 10, 731, the second half of a two-parter, delving back deeply into the mythos that is the alien cover-up, the world of alien hybrids, and the world of the syndicate, who seems to be out in front of everything as much as well as they can, directing things, which runs smack into the work of, well, here in this early part of the X-Files, Mulder and Scully. Later on, of course, those who will come after them, Agent Doggett and Reyes. So the second parter, Rob Bowman directed this to quite a good effect. In fact, this apparently will secure himself, even though it's not for quite a while away, which tells you they really wanted to get the films up and running a whole lot sooner. I think after season 3, if I remember Chris Carter saying as much, after season 3 was what they had hoped, but it won't come. Fight the Future won't come until between 5 and 6, which is really intriguing to place a film theatrically that will bridge 2 seasons of a show. It's pretty cool. But this episode apparently secured Rob Bowman as director for that. Unfortunately, it won't come for a few more seasons. This, if I didn't say, drops December 1st, 1995. This is to be followed by Revelations, which I do believe is the last episode of 1995. Pretty sure. Yeah, so last time we checked, or last time we saw, Mulder had just made a jump from a bridge onto a moving train, and in the suspected rail car that is attached is his alien autopsy that he is trying to find, right? And so it has led to this point. Meanwhile, Scully is having her conversation with X. The Elder will come into the equation, but that's not till later on in the episode, who I'm sure we'll see him again. I should have looked. I know he's in Fight the Future. I would assume we'll see him again occasionally between now and then. But the Elder, played by Don S. Williams, and again, we'll see him quite a bit there, as he's the first Elder, I think, of the Syndicate, which otherwise known as the Elders, the Consortium. There's a few names they go by, but so the show opens up. If I seem off, it's Monday. Saturday just happened. Unless you live in a cave, July 13th will go down as a date I'm sure we don't like to think about. Thankfully, it wasn't any worse than what it was. But to the family that lost a loved one, the families that lost loved ones, those who were critically injured, yeah, it's you just don't like seeing these things happen. And so, I don't know, just sort of kind of been out of it a little bit. But we're talking the X-Files. And so we do this in order to raise our own spirits, even when we're dealing sometimes with some pretty dark things. They do tend to get our mind off of reality. And here the tag is, of course, it's been changed from the truth is out there to apology is policy, which comes up towards the end, right? So the show opens up with we're at a research, an abandoned leprosy research place, compound of sorts, in West Virginia, And what we see basically is military troops roll in and swoop up a bunch of, we don't know if they are alien hybrid or if they're just diseased people who were being used as guinea pigs for the group that we meet in the previous episode. And I already spoke a bit, the inspiration here, that's appropriate word, of course, is Unit 731 from Japan during the days of World War II, and biological experiments on people, just some really, really nasty things. So this is sort of at the core of this episode. And so we see really, it looks to be military are cleaning up a mess, well, at least in their eyes. And so they rush a whole group of these people out to a mass grave, shoot them all. We're Escalante, I do believe, if I remember right, that is one of the main characters who is part of a smaller group hiding under the floorboards and whatnot in this research facility, who is an onlooker hiding from just within the tree line, who sees this happen. And so this sort of brings to mind Nazi Germany, of course, mass killings of Jews and whatnot. Just sort of you know, if you don't allow your mind to just race off to real life instances of these things, it is just a show and whatnot. But it does cause you to think back that these things have to happen, and it's just a sad state of affairs, this planet that we live on. So Mulder is trailing after Zama on the Dr. Zama on the train. Scully, as a tip from X, I believe it was, will go to this same research station early on in the episode. She'll meet Escalante. He will show her the mass graves. A lot of this takes place on a train, although we do have a conversation between Scully and, you'll have to forgive me if I don't remember the guy's name, but the agent who has been sort of trying to ascertain the makeup of this implant, this chip, which Axe tells her may, better than him, provide much of the answers to all they are looking for. Always another turn around the corner here in this show. We're never really given anything up front, right? We just gotta wait for the little morsels to fall from the table and try to put one and one together and all of that. Eventually, we'll catch up with the red-haired man who is the assassin, who is him and Mulder will have quite the face-off towards the end in the final moments of this episode, which has a great moment just when you think the red-haired man has the upper hand in this, and is going to walk away. Somebody comes to the rescue at the last, and it's great when you see who does. I love these moments when you have someone who you don't know if you really trust or you want to trust, but don't know if you trust, and they seem to come in at the nick of time and pull like Mulder out of what was certain death. Scully, of course, will ultimately, as a result of the elder, will be able to call the red-haired man and get Mulder on the phone. This is as they're in the train car in the midst of their confrontation, trapped in the train car, which all has a bomb wired into it. Because you always want to, get rid of those things you need to get rid of if you, need to, things like this, right? And there's one living experiment that is in this train car as well. And we don't know fully if this is, it's played to us as though this perhaps is a biological war experiment, a person who is immune to biological warfare. And this is the hopes, and much of the alien extraterrestrial type is but a smokescreen for what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, this is sort of the give and take that is the tension throughout much of the mythos of the X-Files. They're always only willing to give so much out, and then a lot of times they will, just when they give you a foot, they'll take 3 feet back, give you another one, take 3 feet. I mean, it's just this tension that exists. So it's either a hybrid, alien hybrid, or it is a biological war weapon experiment of sorts, designed to create an army that would be immune to biological warfare. And so, you got a lot of things sort of moving on in this thing. Much of the train sequence that leads up to that rail car between Mulder and the red-haired man is Mulder tracking down with the help of the conductor, trying to get the Gizama. The red-haired man gets to him first, though, and kills him, but Mulder does get his hands on the briefcase, has the conductor hide it away. Unfortunately, when we have our resolution at the end, and Mulder thinks Scully has gotten that same briefcase back, we find out that it's not the same briefcase, that Mulder has had the rug taken right off from under him once again. Big surprise. But the final second, though, of the final framing of the show, though, we do see the cigarette smoking man who is sitting by smoking. Do we expect anything less? While a translator is deciphering the journals that are in the briefcase that belong to Zama. So, this is one that ends with Mulder conceivably could have died, and seeing this cigarette smoking man with one up on him once more. And really, that is your episode in a sort of in a, just looking at my notes, and I don't think there was really anything. I know Bartley, the cinematographer, was nominated for an American Society of Cinematographer award nomination for his continued work on the X-Files, and it's some great cinematography for sure. And so, I mean, it's a, it's a good episode. It's as good as, I think, the first one. I don't know if it rises terribly much higher than the first part. I think the first part does such a great job of just establishing certain things, and then the second part just kind of continues the story in motion. And so besides a pretty good finale, a near miss for Mulder, some revelations we just don't know what exactly is going on right at this point in the game. Again, that is the tension that is built within the X-Files. And if it's not for that tension, we probably don't go 11 seasons, right? So it is what it is. Thankfully, we've got a lot of Monster of the Week episodes to tide us over as the mythos just continued to expand and shrink. A lot of give and take along the way. So, pretty good episode, I might say. This now next one I do believe is Revelations. And if I remember right, season 3, I should have wrote this down. I did plan out far enough to know where season 3 officially ends. I want to say the end of November. I want to say end of November. Is that right? Or is it the end of October? It's one or the other. And then we will be making ready for season 4 already. Can you believe that? I mean, we still got a few episodes to go here in this season. But some good ones too. I'm sure. So as always, we end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be useful to you.